Well, hey there. Welcome back to Factorio Space Age. I'm Joe Mama, your host. And currently, well, this is where our last save is at right now. If you notice, we are on the way back. We're no longer headed toward and I'm not going to say we're on the way back from the shattered planet, because that would imply that we made it. We did not make it. But we are on the way back. And, but notice, we are at 2.875 million miles headed back. Now, if you do your quick math, that should tell you that we did make it past 1.1 million miles. 1.125 million miles. I actually made it almost 1.2 million, but I had to turn back. And the reason is, now I noticed there's no iron being cast over the side. It's only some copper. And not much copper up here, but it turned out that I reached a point where the amount of ammunition I was expending, and I did suggest that this was going to be the case, if I remember correctly. Last episode, I did suggest it. Note by the way, there is zero thrust. We have 0 newtons of thrust. There is no engines that are lit, but yet we're going at a speed of 10 kilometers per second because gravity's pulling us toward the sun. Mentioned that last time as well. But yeah, it turns out that, look at all the red Prometheum asteroids. Look at all of them. There's not much of any other kind of asteroid right now. If you take a look, let's go to the Factoriopedia. And, let's see, right here. If we take a look at this, you can see that we are already at a point where the red asteroids, the huge Prometheum asteroids, kind of are overwhelming, are matching almost everything else. So, and they're useless to us. We can't use them. We can't make anything worthwhile with them except science. I can't use them for ammunition, and yet I have to blast them out of the way. So, and take a look here. If we take a look at what our supplies are, as you can see, we got 10,000 rockets. We used to have 12. We're good on explosives, but look at our gun rounds. We're at 3.1K magazines. We used to be at 12. We're at 1K railgun rounds. We used to be at 4, I believe. So we're down in ammunition a lot. And to me, given those numbers, unless things really start to pick up, look at all the red. That's a lot of red asteroids. We are not going to have enough materials to make it back. We have to make it through a glut of red asteroids based on whatever amount of ammunition we've got in our buffer right now, and it's not going to be enough. It just is not going to be enough. I've already attempted it a number of times to try to stick it out. We're not even, no thrust. We're just drifting right now. It's not going to be enough. So I just wanted to kind of show you where we were at, and because I've already made the decision that I'm gonna have to give it up. So I went ahead and loaded a previous save, which I'll go ahead and do that right now. This goes back a little ways, but what you're going to see is a path. I'll call it an alternate timeline that I've already taken. I've already called this save up and worked from this save to achieve different methods. Let's go ahead. So anyway, so there we are. Right now, on this old save, we're basically on a fool's mission trying to get back. It will be suicidal. We will die. I mean, look at all the red. I have to blast all that out, and ammunition is not going to hold out. It's just not. So I'm realizing that we have to find a way to kill Prometheum asteroids and not use ammunition. We have to find a way to do it, and lasers are the only way I can think of, which is very tricky because if we take a look, let's go to the Factoriopedia, and as we can see, most everything has a, let's see, small asteroids, then we get the the mediums have a resistance to laser of 90%, and then the really big ones it's 95, and then the huge ones it's 99. So we can't use lasers on those. We're gonna have to use railgun rounds and rockets. And even then, I mean, on the big ones, okay, what have we got here for explosions? 10% on the big ones. So that kind of leans toward rockets or possibly railgun rounds. And then, okay, and then Promethium, it gets even worse. Because, let's see, the resistance... Oh, no, I guess it is about the same. It's about the same. Okay, the resistance to laser. But they do have greater health. Like, red asteroids have twice the resistance, or twice the hit points. So that's a problem. But anyway, yeah, so if we take a look, now we're down to 2K gun rounds, 9.5K rockets, and explosives we're doing fine. We're actually keeping up with explosives, but everything else, yeah, we're sucking. We ain't gonna make it. We're less than 1,000 rounds of railgun rounds. So let's go ahead and load our other save. Okay, here's the axiom on this save, and notice it's got 12,000 rounds, 12,000 rockets, 7,000 railgun rounds because I actually upped the limit a little bit, and everything else is good to go, except we do need to go to Aquilo and load up on cryo fuel for the fusion generators. Also, this represents a lot of this represents the way the ship used to be, and there's a lot of changes that are not reflected right now. This ship is, there's a lot of things that need to be done to the ship that were done to the one in the other save. I actually saved a bunch of pictures of it, but then it occurred to me there must be other ways to accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish. And one of the big ones that I missed, I'll show you. I've already started to remedy this. Now notice, this is what I've got. Some stuff that I've sent up. I've got foundries on the ship right now. I've got beacons on the ship. Okay, they're ready to be used. And for foundries, like, what the hell would I use a foundry for? There's no lava up there. But notice this. Let's go to the Factoriopedia. Foundry. And take a look over here. So I can do iron ore, molten iron from lava, and yeah, I can do molten iron from lava with calcite, or I can do molten iron. Let's see, that was how much molten iron is that? It's gonna be molten iron from. Okay, I can do molten iron. There's an alternate recipe. I'd forgotten about this. And the alternate recipe for this is iron ore, 50 iron ore and calcite. Okay. And it's going to take me 32 seconds to make that, but with speed modules, I can probably cut that down a lot. So right there, I can use iron ore and calcite to make 500 molten iron. Now let's see, how much does it cost to make a plate? An iron plate costs 20 molten iron. So I can make, and it makes 2 iron plates. Okay, so 1 iron plate for 10 molten iron. So 500 molten iron, I can make 50 plates. Is my math right on that one? Is that right? Yeah, I can make 50 plates. So 50 iron plates in 32 seconds. And whereas I could take, if I go to iron plates. Okay, alternative recipes, casting iron. All right, let's think about that. Oh wait, no, okay, no, there's a little more math involved. Okay, if I can't, okay, 3.2 seconds to craft 2 iron plates. So that's 1.6 seconds to craft a single plate. But then we also have to count the We also have to count the alternate, we also have to count the alternate thing here, which would be, let's see, where's it at? Where are we at? Molten iron? Okay, molten iron. So we would be able to make 500 molten iron in 3.2 seconds. So that would be enough to make, what did I say? So 0.6 seconds I think is what it would be. Since I said it would make, one of this would make 50 iron plates, is that what I said? This would make enough to make 50 iron plates, so it was 0.6 seconds per plate there, 0.64 seconds, and then another 1.6 seconds. So basically, about 2 seconds per iron plate. Okay. 2 seconds per iron plate, but if we make it using an electric furnace, it costs 3.2 seconds. So we can make it a little faster using a foundry. Same amount of materials, we just calcite makes it go a little bit faster. Okay, that could be interesting. So, question. Let's take a foundry. We'll stick it on here. So I've already got them built on here. So foundry. And how many iron? Okay, let's give it a molten iron, 500 molten iron. So we do that, okay. All right, so that could make, we don't have to worry about quality. We're not trying to make quality iron plates, but the crafting speed would be 12. We would make 281 iron per second. Is that right? Okay. So then 281 per second. Let's throw another foundry down. And then let's see, molten iron, turn it into iron plates. And then okay. 3.2 seconds there, but if we roll on it just like that, we could make 11.2 plates per second. Is that right? It would take 75 iron ore per second and turn it into 11.2 plates per second. Can that possibly be right? Well, the way I see it, that is ridiculous. Okay, so then also another thing with these with the foundries is you can take the iron ore and you can make steel out of it. It's its own process. So let's do that, and let's add some speed modules to it. So what will it do? It will convert 112 iron ore into 6.75 steel plates per second. If that's true, that is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, because as it stands right now, okay, let's go up here. It will turn crafting speed. It'll turn, okay, 1.25 steel plates, or 1.25 iron plates into 0.32 plates per second. So that tells me it's going to take about 3 seconds to make an iron plate with one of these furnaces. I mean, so right there, that tells me that in the same amount of space, now it's going to take significantly more power, but in the same amount of space, I could make a whole lot of iron and steel a lot quicker, or at least in a smaller space, than I could with all of this. This is a waste of space. So this is what we would have to work with. Okay, also, let me show you what else is going on. So, okay, yes, for iron ore, this was the biggest problem, is converting iron ore and steel into ammunition fast enough, but also collecting enough materials. If we use lasers, we might be able to reduce the burden of these medium asteroids. The medium asteroids are absolutely eating up our ammunition. If we can kill them with lasers, and I realize it's going to take more energy, but if we can kill them with lasers, then we could save a lot on regular ammunition, and this ammunition eats up a lot of iron, and that would save iron ore, or that would save molten iron to be used for other things. So we might be able to preserve ammunition that way. If we can use lasers, we can preserve our ammunition. So let's go back to oh right, I also wanted to show you what was going on up here on the Axiom. What I've been doing, some of the stuff that I've been sending up. I have been sending up where are they? Okay, I've been sending up accumulators. I've been sending up accumulators of increased quality. So normally, an accumulator is able to hold 5 megajoules worth of energy, max output of 300 kilojoules, or 300 kilowatts. So let's take a look at what's on board. Okay, so remember those numbers. It was 5 megajoules. Well, now I can store 10 megajoules with a uncommon accumulator, which is double, and that's 390 kilowatts of output. So that's pretty awesome. Okay, and then I've got some rare accumulators, which are 15 megajoules and have an output of 480 kilowatts. So that's going to save us some space as well. We'll need fewer, and we'll be able to store more energy. So we've got that. Now if I scroll down, this is very helpful as well. I have been building lasers and gun turrets of various qualities as well. So I've got a lot of rare gun turrets. Now here's a normal gun turret. Gun turret has a range of 18 units, whatever that is. Okay. If I go to, do I have any? I don't have any uncommon. I don't have any uncommon laser turret or uncommon gun turrets, but I do have a bunch of rare gun turrets, and they have a range of 21.6 compared to 18. So that's better range. And then we've got the epic gun turrets have a range of 23.4, and I've even got 7 legendary gun turrets with a range of 27. That's a 50% increase over the commons. And the same with the lasers. I've got 1 legendary laser turret at a range of 36 when the normals are at 24. So again, a 50% increase, but I've got 1 legendary, 8 epic lasers, and 44 rare laser turrets, and I've got a whole bunch. I've got like over 150 uncommon laser turrets, which is fine because 1 uncommon laser turret at a range of 26.4 is almost what a legendary gun turret is. So in a way, I can actually put the lasers back a little bit from the front. I can put them a little farther back, and they will match the range of the gun turrets. So, but I'm thinking the laser turrets will go toward the front because I want them to deliver most of the damage, so that basically, if any break through, and I'm sure they will, the gun turrets will absolutely wreck those medium asteroids if they have to shoot, but they'll use less rounds to do it, and that's kind of my goal. So we're gonna have a laser heavy defense. The lasers are gonna be the first line of defense. They're gonna weaken the asteroids, and then the gun turrets, if needed, will cut them down the rest of the way. And I'm working on trying to get some high quality rocket turrets, but I'm not having as much luck. So let's take a look at what I've done. If I go down here where the rocket turrets are being made. Okay, where are they at? Right cha. Okay, looking in here, I've got 6. Is it 6? Yeah, I've got 6 uncommon laser turrets. And they've got a range, let's see, regular turrets have 36 range, and the uncommons have a 39.6. So that might be enough to do what we need to do. Oh, whoa, there we go. There's a rare. Okay, that's a 43.2. We'll take it. Okay, so I'll go down and collect those. So let's take a look at what's going on here, though. Just kind of give you an idea. My production. How things are going. Okay, I've got various types of laser turrets being worked on. There's a few. And here's kind of what I'm counting on. So if you've never used these before, these quality modules, I'll tell you what, this has taught me so much. Doing all this has taught me so much about the quality modules. So if you want to make, let's say, a legendary laser, you can tell it, hey, look, you know, I want you to have the like, how would you do it? You'd let's see, take a assembly machine, stamp one down. You got to give it a recipe. So go to laser turret, and then you push this button down here to say, hey, I want to make a legendary laser turret. Wow, that was easy. Yeah, not quite. You have to find the ingredients of equal value, of equal quality. So you have to find legendary steel plates, legendary batteries, legendary electronic circuits. Well, that's hard to do. So one thing you can do is instead you can make one, you can tell the thing to make one of lesser quality. So let's say I'm going to make a single laser turret, but I want to make it of epic quality. Now, these ingredients are a little easier to come by. Not quite as, not super easy, but they're easier. But what you can then do is you pop some quality module 3s in there, which are a little bit of a pain in the neck to make, but once you make them, it's worth it. So you get these quality module 3s, and then if you can find these ingredients, you can make product. But with these quality modules in it, there's a chance that one of the lasers you'll produce is a legendary without having to use any legendary parts. So, for example, I'm telling these accumulators right here, I'm telling it to make normal holy shit. Are you freaking kidding me right now? Ha! This one stopped because it made a legendary. I mean, this is underscoring my point perfectly. So I told it just to make accumulators, but I slapped some quality module 3s in it. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna add some other filters here. Let's see, let's add accumulator epic, and let's add accumulator legendary to the filter. There we go, like that. Okay. So boom, it actually made a legendary. It had, okay, so by putting these high quality modules in there, you run the risk of making, I say risk, you stand a chance of making an item of higher quality. And as you can see, I didn't tell it to make anything more than a common accumulator, but it managed to spit out a legendary right there. No legendary parts, no high quality parts of any kind, and it spat one out. So let's take that. And oh, by the way, okay, so an uncommon accumulator has 10 megajoules, and a rare accumulator has 15, and a legendary has 30. So it's equal to 6 commons. So that's pretty darn cool. So there you go. there's an example of how quality modules you can really score. Now, same what I'm doing here. I told this thing just to make normal lasers. Well, it managed to make several uncommon and even one rare. Okay, now it made a whole crap ton of commons, but that's okay. I've got the materials to do it, but I'm taking the risk and I'm getting some payment for it. Batteries, same way. I told these chemical plants to make normal batteries, but with high quality modules, and I'm spitting out batteries of varying quality. So that is very helpful, and that's going to help me with the laser building process over here. So let me go ahead and drop a couple of these in here. My batteries. Alrighty then. And we've got some steel being produced. So let me go ahead and grab some more of these lasers. And all of these are going to help me out as we start to redesign the Axiom, because that's what's going to happen. It's going to be a complete redesign. I mean, this must be like the second or third complete redesign I've gone through. So 1, 2, 3, there's accumulators and lasers, a couple of good ones there, and that pretty much fills my rocket. So let's send that up to the Axiom. Okay. I don't think I'm going to do anything special with the rail guns, because there's a lot of complicated components there, and I'm not ready to go to Aquilo and try to do that. So, okay, like right here. Here's another example. Now we've got an epic laser turret here. Okay, there's no inputs for an epic laser turret. There's this legendary laser turret assembly machine, but it's not going to spit out anything less than a legendary. If it has all the parts, it will spit out a legendary turret, but it won't spit out anything under that. So it didn't come from here, but this one has quality 3 modules. It's meant to make a rare laser turret, and apparently it spat out an epic. So that's one way you can kind of, I say, cheat the system. If you can't find the components you need, set it one lower, throw some high quality, some super quality modules in there, which I think are quality module 3s, that's the max. Throw some of them in there, and you stand a chance of making, that next level up. All right, so I don't know if I discussed this with you, but I'm going to show you what I've been doing, how I've been starting this whole process. I've set this copper patch up with mining machines that are loaded with quality module 3s, absolutely loaded. And so there's a chance, if you look, you can see that some of the pieces of ore are of varying qualities, right? Everything, I'm seeing 1, 2s, and 3s. I think there might even be a rare. Every so often you'll run across a rare, and sometimes even a legendary. For the most part, it's uncommon and rare. So then I've set these filters up. Everything that's mined here goes through these filters, and this screens out anything of a quality that is higher than common. So they all come through here, and it filters everything out, and everything that is just common keeps on going. So I've set up recycling machines to take up anything that the system doesn't use. Like, as you can see, there's some copper being used, but what doesn't get used gets screened over to these rings of recyclers. And as you can see, it's eating up the copper and turning it into nothing. And I've done that with all 4 rows. So yes, you're going to go through a lot of copper that you don't need. You're going to go through copper that you might be able to use otherwise, because these mining machines are going to work constantly, all the time. You're using energy, you're using materials. But my goal is to find high quality copper. And that's how you start. You got to start with those basic materials. And if you look down here, let's head down to where I've got iron doing the same thing. You can see this is iron that's being used, iron and steel. And these are my recyclers that are using any excess iron. You can see by the And this is same for the copper. You can see by my splitters here, the priority is to continue up the line. The ore will, if there's room on the line, it will continue up the line, but any extra gets screed off and sent over to the recyclers. So it just basically just keeps the iron line moving. And I've got copper of varying quality, or not copper, steel plate of varying quality being made. And let's see what processes we've got going. Yeah, there's a rare or an epic plate right there. And every so often you look in here and you'll find like this. Okay, there we go. There's a legendary plate. I'm actually going to take that. I'll take the epic as well. What else we got? I'll show you why I'm pulling it right out instead of letting it run the course. Okay. Because now I've got guns being made. And let's see, I'll throw some iron plate there. And I've got some epic plate that I'll throw here. And if you take a look, I've already got some guns here. Look at this. Now this is meant to produce epic turrets, but it produced a legendary as well, so I'll take it. Now, one thing I did find out, again, this is a learning process, I'm learning a lot, is I tried to set beacons down because when you produce products of higher quality, it takes longer. So I thought, oh, well, let me just throw some beacons down with speed modules and speed it up. But what it does is it actually has an effect on the ability to make higher quality materials. Like right now, it says it makes a quality of 10, okay, of plus 10. That means there's a 10% chance you'll get better quality items. If I throw down some beacons around this thing to make it go faster, the quality that it can produce will go down. Eventually, it will absolutely nullify its ability to produce anything of higher quality. Or almost nil, I think. Okay, let's take a look at that. Filter that to that. Okay. And there's a rare accumulator called 15 megajoules. Okay, let me see. One thing I didn't see what the output was. If we go to the Axiom, and there's a legendary accumulator in here, and the output is 750 kilowatts. No kidding. So what's the output of a normal? I don't know. Okay, but still, that's pretty damn impressive. I'll take it. Okay, where's the rocket? Right, yeah. Alright. So, doop. I'm not going to put any normies up there as far as lasers go, but I'll put the others. Okay. And what have we got for accumulators? Anything good? Okay. That's 82% loaded. That's fine by me. We'll send it up. Okay, so let's look at the Axiom. And I want to kind of explain what my goal here is. I'm not going to sit here and do it in front of you, but I'm going to smooth out the lines. There's a lot of lumps and bumps. I'm not going to angle these anymore. There's going to be like 6 rail guns, but they're going to be pointing straight ahead. I don't think there's a need to angle it. I just don't see the need. Because, I mean, these have been getting a lot of kills, but I don't really think it's because of the angle so much. So yeah, we will strip this down, smooth these lines out, because this is ridiculous. This looks absolutely ridiculous. It's been pieced together and so forth. And also, each line, there's still going to be the ring. It's going to hit all of the asteroid grabbers, and it'll go, one ring will go past the line, like these iron and copper, but then these are going to feed in much the same way as, oh yeah, see, like here, I haven't even changed this yet. This, I haven't changed into vertical lines yet. I hadn't done that yet. Oh, interesting. So this goes back quite a ways, because if you look at the, I I think even in the previous episode where I was on my way to the Shattered Planet, I had set these up so that these are vertical lines and they don't jam up quite as easily. So that's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to make sure that up here, rather than feeding onto a common belt, each of these is going to feed into kind of like its own belt, and that will feed into the smelters, or the foundries. So I think that will work. And same here, all of these, anything I can do to reduce congestion, I'm going to try to do that. And then again, like I said, I'm going to use these processes down here to help speed the process. There will be lasers, there will be accumulators added to help with the demand of the lasers. Like these right here, I've put these up here and I've run a test. In fact, maybe we could do that. We could do that, couldn't we? Let's go to Fulgora. Let's go to Fulgora. Let's do that, shall we? Can we pick up recyclers? I might have us do that, but we'll see. All right, let's go to Fulgora, and we're gonna wash the lasers. Now I've set the lasers up so the only targets they... Okay, no, don't go after any other targets. But I want these to only go after the mediums. I'm assuming we're gonna run into some. Come on, asteroid grabbers, grab shit. Okay, it does damage, but I'm thinking with multiple lasers, with many lasers up here, it will be able to grab a whole bunch of them, or it will be able to destroy a whole bunch of them. Because right now the guns are doing a lot of the work. Now these have got some kills, but the damage they've dealt is not a lot. Yeah. In fact, I think what I'll do, if I take these, see what I can do here. See what the epic laser turret does. If it can reach out and deliver damage at a much greater distance. Alright, well, let's see if I can do epic quality. At least with a higher quality, it should be able to reach out to a greater distance. Yeah, it did some. Yep, it's killing some. The longer range is going to help. Especially if there are, you know, dozens of these things in a row on the front of the ship. What are the targets on these things? Will they go after smalls? Yeah, it's reaching out and touching them at quite a distance. Okay, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, yeah, that works. I like that. So what are we doing here? Let's see, can we pick up possibly some recyclers? That is one thing on Fulgora that I do like using here on Novice is recyclers. So let's grab some of them. Okay. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. Just want to give you an update how things are going to go. So this is what this does. What this does, I'm just opening the laser, I'm opening the railguns to shooting targets that are outside the norm just for a while, just to burn up some of these rounds, because they are filling up my spaces right now. But yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We will do what we can, clear this off, and then we're just going to redesign the deck. That's what it's going to be. Just redesign the deck, and hopefully that'll be beneficial to us. Really didn't want to do that, but I don't think there's any way this ship is going to make it to the Shattered Planet without a complete and total redesign. Oh well. Anyway, so that's what's going on. Just wanted to give you guys an update, and not much Factorio building happened, but at least you can kind of see what we're thinking, and hopefully next time around I can show you a completely redesigned ship. So anyway, until then, y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Ciao.